How's it going out there? This is James Packard from Western Welding Academy on the live feed again. I hope I did good enough last time for all of you to stick around this time. Taking questions, rating welds, whatever you got, throw it at me. I really enjoy doing it. Let's do it. What do we got up, Quasey? Got anything for us?
Yes, sir. Let's see. Start with some questions.
So how do I send my welds in? DM us on Instagram. Instagram. DM us on Instagram. Is that the only way we do it? DM it on Instagram?
Sure.
I'm terrible at this stuff.
I
I just got to be me. Let's see it. Okay, this is from Jacob Casillas. I'm sorry if I butchered your name. All right, Jacob. Not bad. Looks like a 7018. I don't know what direction. Looks like you were welding that flat, multiple passes. You got them overlapped just right. Looks like maybe you're learning. Maybe a new welder. No undercut. Man, if you're just learning, you're killing it. I'm gonna rate that one. That's a solid 7 to start with. Beads could be a little bit more even, but you got them overlapped just right. Nice job, Jason. So for anybody who's wondering how to apply at our school or anything like that, it's applytoweld.com, right? Help me out here. Yes. Okay. applytoweld.com. And then I also want to mention our weld competition coming up May 7th. Starts at 7. Link in bio if you want to sign up for it. It's going to be some food, going to be some social media people there. It's going to be a good time. The one last year was a hit. It was really fun.
Let's do a question.
What you got? What's the question? Let's see if you can set a new world record with 20 rods on the new Big TIG torch. I'll one up you. I'll bet I can do 40. Where is the Big TIG torch? That was supposed to be part of it. That's a custom build from the great Nate Ponder there. I haven't even really got to see it yet. I've just seen the parts. This thing, it takes a quarter-inch diameter tungsten. It is amazing. I'm not entirely sure how we're going to run gas to it, though. It's going to take a pile of gas to run that pile of argon. 20 welds, 20 rods. We're going to do 40.
Woo.
Nate and Danny got nothing on this place, man. They're busy doing office stuff anymore. How long is the waiting list for what? To get into school. If it's to get into school, I want to say we're booked out to 20, last I heard 2025. I'm not sure. But there's a wait list. Get your application in and get on the list. If you call our intake team, they can help you out with that for sure. And they'll know more details than I will. I don't ever get into that part of the business.
2 welds, let's check out.
What do we got? Give me a name. Sam Coleman. Mr. Sam Coleman on DM. Ooh, I'm guessing stainless. Can't tell for sure, but it looks a lot like a chunk of stainless in there. Nothing better than a piece of stainless. I freaking love stainless. Looks like you're just getting your root in there, and it's looking like it's going okay. Of course, I can't see what's going on the inside, but judging from the outside, you're doing all right. Just for being a root, color's good. Let's call that one like a 6. I'd rather see a full weld. Like if you could give me a picture of your root and then a picture of your cap, that would be awesome. It's a 6 for a quarter of a root. What else you got? Cooper Smith. Ooh, he even sent a video. Tiggin. Cooper didn't give us any information, did he? Quasey?
No, sir.
That's looking pretty good. He's got his stick out there. Oh, he's cheating. No, he's using a pedal. Anyways, it looks good for some pedal stuff. That's on stainless. Some more stainless. I can't get enough of it. Look at that color. That's a solid 9 for a stainless fillet weld. Nice job. Look at them colors. And he sent us a video of it. You got some work to do. You got to one-up this dude, Cooper Smith. He knows what he's doing. There's the TIG rig. I'll just set that right down here. All right, TikTok. Here's the, jeez Louise. Here's the custom build TIG torch from, we're going to call this the Pondermatic, the Natomatic Ponderosa. That thing there, it weighs about, good Lord, I bet it weighs 15, 20 pounds. And that tungsten, that's real. I don't know. Can we zoom in on this anyway? I don't know. Maybe not on a TikTok live. But anyways, if you guys can see, that's a chunk of tungsten. Look at that thing compared to my pinky. That's a 1/4 inch diameter tungsten. And I bet we're going to have to run that at, oh man, 400 amps. And I don't know what we're going to do for argon.
Shout out to Blue Demon for the tungsten. Much appreciated.
Yeah, Blue Demon sent us that tungsten. I think it's a box of 5 and it weighs about 50 pounds, it seems like. But old Nate did a good job on that. I was really curious how that was going to come out. That's a pretty cool looking deal. I can't wait to use it. 40 rods. Let's go 80. I wonder if we can do 80 rods. Oh, apparently nobody can hear me. Was that whole thing, that whole spiel was bad. I was saying, I'll bet we can do 80 rods with this pig. That's freaking cool. I wonder who did the leather on it.
I believe
Chase Smith. I was hoping so. Our first shift lead instructor does a bunch of leather work. The guy's amazing, talented, way more talented than I am. Oh, for goodness sakes! Blow a shoulder out handling that thing. Let's see, we got a question. Do you know what the big TIG torch is made out of? At Green Bean 22029. As a matter of fact, I do. It's stainless steel. It was what is that, 3-inch? 3-inch stainless steel pipe and 2-inch stainless steel handle. And then Nate took a Pyrex bowl for cooking because that handles high heat. Cut a hole in it, and I don't know how he attached it to there. Screwed it on there somehow, but most of it's stainless. We got a screen packed with stainless steel wool to diffuse the argon when it comes out of there, and then otherwise just copper for the cable and hose for the argon. But that's one of Nate's specialties. He's our TIG torch guru. Nate is.
Rate my weld.
What you got? Angel Zambrano. Some good old 5P 6010. Hey, I mean for 6010 it doesn't look too bad. Looks like we might have a little bit of undercut there on the left-hand side of my screen. I don't know what you guys are looking at, but looks like it was dunked in some water. That's a 7 for 6010 for sure. 6010 only looks so good. Not bad. What else we got for questions? Come on, DM us welds, DM us questions, tips for outside corner joints at IAD 9000. The tough part about them is the undercut. You want to watch your heat on that, and don't make the rod do all the work. Let that puddle do the work. So get your rod centered up in there, let that puddle spread out, and just watch the edges of the puddle. You don't really have to do much with those outside corner joints. And if you're too hot, you're going to undercut up on them. Make sure that heat's a little bit lower. Who's this? Justin. Ooh, I'm not sure what that is. It looks like stainless, but it looks like it might have been a little dirty. Or you didn't have enough gas, maybe. Or it's not stainless. Maybe it's some other alloy. I wish I had some more information on it.
Another one here.
Same guy, Justin? Yeah. Yeah, and it looks like you weren't using filler. Looks like maybe some dirty stainless without filler, and either your gas wasn't quite right or you had some wind. I don't know. I don't know, dude. For a stainless, that's probably a 5. It should look way better than that. Sorry to cut you down, man. But that's my job. Beat people up about their welding. That's what's good about being an instructor. You don't have to do all that show no more. You got to tell people they're not showing good enough. You can't do 80 on a TIG torch. I don't know. Can't I? You can't do 80 on a TIG torch. I'll bet I can do 80 on that TIG torch. I'll bet I can do 100 on that TIG torch. We're going to have to take out a small loan on as much rod as we're going to have to use on that TIG torch by the time this thing's done. I don't know. We'll try it.
Rate my weld?
Rate my weld. Dustin Bigot. Ooh, some stainless, and he even cleaned it. All right. That looks good, dude. Probably stainless, I guess. I can't assume unless I see the specs, but very nice. And that gentleman that was just asking about the outside corners, I know this is down in a flange, but that piece of pipe is technically an outside corner, and this is how you do it. What was the last guy's name? I was going to shout him out again. The one that was asking about the outside corners.
The outside corners, was it?
Oh, I think she wrote it on the board. That's who it was. Anyways, Mr. Bigot, that looks like, I'm giving that one a 9.5. That was a good looking weld. Holy cow, is that the same guy?
Yep, same guy.
Oh man, that's some, whatever alloy that is, that's some tight looking weld there. Like, whew. That's a 10 to put it on a ring that tight and not have it spill over. Nice job. That's the weld of the night right there. Somebody's.
Another one.
Oh, now see all that really good stuff, and then he sends this one.
That was his first one in his defense.
Oh, okay. So.
I opened it backwards.
So what I'm hearing is this was the first one progressing to the others. I get it. Yeah. So this one would probably be like a 8, 7-ish. Looks like you're too hot or too slow. If you can tell on stainless or any alloys when they got color in them, the backside, the very start of your weld is always that gold wheat color. That's because that's the coldest part of that weld, and that's getting the best gas coverage. As you progress, as you move in through that weld, you start heating up, or you slow down, or it's not getting good gas, and that's when your colors diminish. So if you can maintain that gold color at the very beginning throughout the weld, you got her. You got her. How do you send a weld in to be rated? DM us on Instagram. That's how you take a picture of your weld or a video. I didn't know we could do videos. That one was awesome, actually, that guy that did the video. And send it to us. DM it. DM it to, what's our Instagram?
Western Welding Academy.
At Western Welding Academy. DM at Western Welding Academy. Send it to us. Friend us, like us. What?
Another rate my weld?
Gotcha. I'm still looking at big Mr. Dustin Bigot's first one.
How about that one?
No, nothing changed. I'm froze up. Quasey, my tech guy, he's really a machinist. I don't know why they give him the computer. We got a whole group of IT people, and we give the computer to the machinist.
Let's do another question.
For those of you who didn't see it, Quasey flipped me off for all of that stuff. How do I apply to go to school? Apply to weld.com. That's how you do it. Or go to our website, and it'll walk you through it there. Or call our people in. Apply to weld.com is the best, easiest way to do it. Amy, our intake personnel, she's one of the best, man. She'll answer any question you got, and if she won't, somebody will. We have a pretty good team of people to do that.
Try this again. From my boy Justin, first time on MIG.
First time ever?
That's what he says.
Phew, not bad for the first time on MIG. I'm not a real big MIG hand. I've done a little bit, but there's a lot of people out there a lot better than me. But if I had to eyeball that one, I would say that's a solid 9 for a MIG weld. That looks good. Got them stacked in there, no undercut. Looks like it's down in the bottom there with no lack of fusion for sure. Nice job. Justin, right? Yeah, nice job, Justin. We'll give that a 9. Shooter Vigil. A lot of you probably don't know this. It'll show my age a little bit, but Adam Sandler had some movies out there. Happy Gilmore, and the nemesis in there was Shooter McGavin. That's what that's what popped up in my head. I don't know. That looks like, what did we do? Scribble out the real bad one? This one here, it looks like some 7018 on some dirty old metal. And the reason I think that is because it's really rough, and 7018 tends to get kind of rough on dirty metal. But I don't know, could be cleaner, could be better, could be more easier, or more even. Yeah, I don't know, 7-ish. We'll call it that. Not bad. If you're learning, you're close. You're there.
All right, let's rate one more.
So anybody who doesn't really know the life of a welder, Jason Daniel, he's really showing it what it's like. Looking through safety glasses that are all fogged up, that's what it looks like right there. That's tough to deal with. I can't really tell. That looks like it might be a wire feed, like maybe a dual shield. I don't know through the fog. Either way, it looks like a decent weld, like it's doing its purpose. No undercut. I don't see any porosity in there. A lot of times I want to grab my flashlight. This is what I always try to do that. It doesn't ever work out on an iPad, but we'll call that one an 8 for what it is, just because he took a foggy picture to show everybody what it's really like. Yeah, 8. Yep. Yeah, oh, Dustin Bigot, huge thanks. Is there what's that comment Dustin give us? Do we record the live?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. There is a chance. There is a chance that we record the live, Dustin. I will have to get that information out to you, though. I don't know how it works.
Let's answer a question.
Answer a question. Do you have any fun stories from the field? Ooh, yeah. I do. I'm not really put on the spot. Let me think about one, and then I gotta professional it up a little bit, because usually when I tell these stories. Okay, so here's a story, and I hate telling the whole world this because it kind of takes it away, but I know everybody notices I'm missing a finger, right? There's probably 200 or 300 people out there that believe that I tackled a bear, and that's how I missed my finger. So the story goes that my dad and I were in the mountains hunting for elk in the Tetons of Wyoming, which is grizzly bear country, and that Dad got an elk, and this grizzly bear came out to attack him, and I came running out of the trees about the time the bear was over my dad, and I jumped on her back, and I fish hooked her, stuck my fingers right in her mouth. I fish hooked her, stuck my knee in her back, gave Dad time to get his rifle out, protect himself, and me and the bear go to the ground, and Dad asked if I was okay, and we found blood. I wasn't shot. Come to find out, bear bit my finger off. Anyways, that's not really how it happened, but that's what a lot of people believe after I told the story, and it took me a few years to tell it on a straight face. How long is our program? 24 weeks. So our Welder 5, which is the most common, most popular, is 4 courses. Welder 1, which is structural. Welder 2 is stick pipe. Welder 3 is TIG pipe. Welder 4 is stainless and downhill pipe. So Welder 5 is all 4 of those encompassed, and that's 24 weeks for the Welder 5. You get all those courses rolled up into one, and I think it's still the same. If you sign up for Welder 5, there's a certain amount of blackboard, some book work you got to do. But anyways, it's all knowledge. Whatever it is, you'll end up with what you need from Welder 5. Welder, I don't know all the individual courses. Welder 1's like 5 or 6 weeks. Welder 2's probably 6 or 7. 3 is 5 or 6. Whatever they add up to make 24 weeks. But it's something like that. Most of our students get through it a little sooner than that 24 weeks. That is plenty of time to learn that trade. If you're there, if you're on time, and if you stay in your booth and weld. 90% of the time, anybody who isn't making it is because they're not in their booth doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Let's rate a weld.
Let's rate a weld. Let's rate a weld, they say. Michael Allen. Ugh, you never trust a guy with 2 first names. Although a guy that welds stainless like that, all right, I'll let that one pass. Michael Allen, and that looks like that might have been some big bore, because he's got a 2-bead cap on there, or some thick wall or something, heavy wall. that one right now, I think, is our winner. Those two welds are slicker than snot. There is no undercut. The cap is not too high, not too low. The ripples are almost lined up like we drew them on there. That is beautiful. That's a 10.5 for a stainless weld. Nice job, Michael, even though you got 2 first names. Yeah, that's a good one. 10.5. You guys got some picking up to do. Our scale's only 10, and that guy made 10.5. Now we're getting some welds in here. Uh-oh, I got an undo. What'd I do?
Push a button.
I hit a button. If you don't know what to do, hit a button. If you don't know what lever A does, lever B. The machinist got it.
I sure did.
Yeah.
Right.
DM us your welds. Come on, DM us your welds at Western Welding Academy on Instagram. Send us your questions. TikTok us. You know, tips for vertical up. Depends on what you're running. I'm a big fan of 7018. Running vertical up with 7018, it's arc length. You can run really hot if you need to and still maintain that puddle if you keep that arc nice and tight. Maybe a little bit of an up angle, not too much, 5 degrees or something like that, but arc length is probably most important. And you'll end up running a little cooler on the heat, but you can get away with a lot if your arc's just right. Let's see, how old do I need to be to apply? Well, you can apply you can apply right now. You could be 10 years old and apply to Weld. That one's hard for me. Apply to weld.com. You have to be 17 and a half to start though, because we need you to be 18 years old when you graduate, so you can go to work. But you can apply right now. All you, I don't know, 5, 10, 15-year-olds, start applying. What's the worst that'll happen? You end up with a good trade. Make as much money as a die. I've seen that TikTok where everybody's holding a steady hand and they run that camera down. No, I'm a surgeon. My hand's so steady. I did that with mine. Surgeon, I wouldn't let a surgeon touch me. They're shaky, scary. Looks like. Got a weld, Quasey?
Yes, sir.
Oh. Tyler, Paul, Dick. Okay. One of the old AC/DC tombstones, I bet. Welded on a Lincoln AC/DC. Honestly, it looks pretty good. We do some stuff for some high schoolers out in a place close to us. And that's all they have are those old Lincoln red tombstones that are, yay tall. They call them tombstone because they're shaped like a tombstone. And they actually weld really good. They're AC power, AC input, and then they can weld AC or DC. And their DC is pretty clean, really. They weld good. They're pretty aggressive. This thing, I don't know if I had to guess. What do you say, 60-10? Yep. It's not bad. You could make 60-10 look a little bit smoother, a little bit cleaner. But, man, using that old machine, that's a solid, that's a 8 for a 60-10 on that plate with that machine. Yeah, nice job, Tyler, Paul, Dick.
All right, let's go to a question.
Let's go to a question. Anyone? DM us. I just got into TIG. Whenever I try to walk the cup, it makes a puddle, but it won't move. Tips. So one of the problems I'm thinking you're having in it not moving is that you walk and the puddle doesn't follow your torch. One of the ways to think about that is when you get that puddle started, you want to kind of push it with that tungsten. So if you're running too cold or if you're long arcing, that's another one of those arc length issues. If you long arc and you swing over there, the puddle stays here and the arc doesn't break down the rest of that base metal. So make sure your arc is tight, make sure your heat is right, and try to move that puddle by pushing it. Don't swing over there and wait for the puddle to drag along with you. You want to push that puddle when you're tigging. If I understand the question right, if it's not moving. Or you might just be rocking the cup side to side and not actually advancing forward, which would cause it not to move. One thing you can try freehanding it. Try not walking the cup. See if you can figure out how to hold that thing like a pencil and get your hand on something steady and weave it like that. Give that a try. See how that works. But those are the two most common: arc length and heat. That's why you wouldn't be moving that puddle.
Rate my weld?
Rate my weld. Chester. There we go. That's either it looks like 7018 to me. It looks kind of like a ropey 7018. It's not bad, probably vertical. I bet it's supposed to be like that. Yeah, it looks good. Could be a little more even on the edges, but there's no undercut. And you're stepping, you're probably a little cold, and you're stepping a little bit big, it looks like, which makes them defined ripples. 7018, I like my 7018 nice and smooth. So while this is a good weld, I don't know, probably an 8 because there's no undercut, but let's get them ropes out of there. Let's basically what you need to do is have a little more side to side and a little less vertical motion, and that'll smooth that baby out quick. Stay with the puddle. If you're running and the puddle's leaving, you're going too fast. That puddle's the key. Have info on the weld competition. Yeah, so our weld competition is May 7th. Starts at 7. We have an open division. We have a high school division. Open division will be a 6-inch Schedule 40 on a 5G. So welding bottom to top. All uphill, 60-10 root uphill, 70-18 hot fill and cap uphill. The high school division will be a 2G, 3/8 plate, open root, 60-10 root, 70-18 hot fill and cap. And man, it's a good time. We had a blast last year. We had a bunch of social media personalities there. Jacob Schofield. We had Zach Backle, the kid that tigs. I'm not sure if they're coming this year, but that's who we had last year. Just for comparison, we had a lot of fun people there, and we have simulators set up. We had a pipeline simulator, so people who don't really understand the process of it, they could stand there and watch people weld the pipeline. We had a TIG machine set up so you could come in and actually try to TIG weld. We actually had this 10-year-old and his mother. I bet they spent 4 hours on that TIG torch. It was amazing. It was really fun. Go to, where do we go to sign up? Oh, jeez. What? Applytoweld.com. That's to sign up for school.
Yep, and then there's an event.
Oh, and okay, yeah. So applytoweld.com, and then there's an events tab there. Otherwise, our website, Western Welding Academy, we got all that information there, and we got places you can call to get a hold of them. And link in our bio. That's what I was really looking for, is the link in the bio. Link in bio is the go-to answer.
Let's rate a weld.
Let's rate a weld. Dylan Beck.
Says he's applying in 2 weeks.
I'm applying. That's some hardwire there. That looks, that's really good for a hardwire weld. Man, that looks good. This guy, come on to school. You'll be a good one. You'll be an easy one to teach if that's what you're starting with. For the hardwire, that's a 10. That's a 10. He's got them dimes stacked up there tight. Real nice. Real nice, Dylan. Look forward to seeing you. Get your application in so we can get you here. You got a lot of potential in your future with that. Keep practicing on that. Move on to 60-10, move on to 70-18. The more you can do before you get here, the better it will go while you're here. We can fine-tune you pretty good. Tips on MIG. MIG. There's like I said, there's a lot better people to ask than me on MIG. But what I do know about MIG is your shielding gas is important. Your CFMs on your shielding gas to make sure that weld puddle is protected. And your heat to your inches per minute wire feed is a big deal. Every manufacturer is different. Every wire size is different. And clean. You got to have a clean metal with MIG, with just straight up hard wire. If that's the MIG you're talking about. You might be talking about dual shield, which I know a little bit more about, which also needs to be clean, but then you need to have your gas straightened out. You need to know if you're running 75-25 argon CO2. Of course, I said clean metal. Size of wire is a big deal, and that if you're talking about dual shield, I can tell you, I always started with, let's say you're running 23 volts, I would run 230 inches a minute. It's a good base. It's a good starting point. You just times your voltage by 10, and that would give you your wire feed speed to start with. That's what I got for MIG. Some of that stuff, I got tips for you, but some of it's hard if you're not here for me to show you, because I got to know what's going wrong before I can really tell you. What's my favorite thing to weld on? Stainless, by far. TIG and stainless is probably my favorite. One, I feel like it's easier when you're TIG and stainless than carbon. It looks 100 times better. It's a beautiful weld. Whether you leave the color on or even if you polish the color off, you either get chrome or you get rainbows. I don't know how you can go wrong. I love stainless. It's quiet, it's calm, no sparks, clean. It's good duty. A little boring at times. We got a weld, please?
Yeah, this Michael sent us another one.
Who?
Michael?
Michael Allen, the man with 2 first names.
Yes, sir.
I'm froze up again.
Oh, no. Not here.
Well, here he says.
Well, show them the weld, so they can see the weld right now.
Can they see it?
Yes, sir.
What is it?
Looks like dual shield to me.
Oh, yeah. Good old dual shield. So you come to Gillette, and we got a bunch of mines around here, coal mines, and heavy mining equipment, and it's all done with dual shield. 16th inch wire, 50-pound spools, 8-inch thick metal. It'll work you to death.
Here it is.
Here we go. We're getting her back. There. Oh, yeah. Man, look at him wrap that corner, too. Yeah, this guy knows what he's doing here. That's really nice. That is dual shield, I would imagine. Yep. Man, he'd work just about anywhere if he wanted to. Dual shield. Was this the guy that had them stainless welds too?
Yep.
Michael Allen? Gosh. Yep. He's all around hand. So I bet if he can run a dual shield puddle and run a stainless puddle, I'm guessing he's got some pretty good stick work out there too. He's the one that got the 10.5 on that stainless, wasn't he?
Yep.
Well, you got a 10 for dual shield, 10.5 for stainless. All right, Dave, what do you got, mister? Ooh. Michael Allen's got some competition here. I don't know what alloy that is, but that is really cool looking. Some heavier wall stuff too, like he's got a couple of them stacked on there. I'm not sure. Dave, let me know if that's stainless. I don't know what that is, but it's a nice looking weld. And did you use Polestark on that? Because that's what the ripples kind of look like. But anyways, DM me, Dave. I want to know. That's a 10. That's a 10.5. Michael Allen and Dave are tied. Michael Allen might be ahead because of the dual shield too, though. Come on, Dave. What's this one? James Caraphelis. I don't know. Is that how you say it, James? Send me a video of you saying your name. some low high there, it looks like, on some dirty metal. Got some arc marks all over that thing. So whenever you stick your rod, don't break it loose. Pull it out of the stinger, then break it off, because those arc marks that's a recipe for a cutout when you're on a job, depending on the job, but inspectors don't like that. I'm going to call that one like the weld, it's okay. Hopefully you're learning. If you're learning, you're on the right track. Probably a 6. Probably 6. Could be cleaner. Justin got a box. Mild steel TIG. Oh, okay. Looks like you're freehanding it. That's not bad for a freehand, Justin. One thing I can say is try to weave that so it looks like you're just dragging right along that wire, which is okay. There's nothing wrong with it, but you can make it look a lot better if you weave that cup. Not bad. Could be better. Probably 7. Where's that? Bring up that box that he had welded together, please. Oh, that's 7018 there, or something similar. Yeah. Oh, there's some of them outside corners that other fellow was talking about. Yeah, we need a little work on that, but you're on the right track. So that one right there, you see some slag, and then right there you see some slag in this. Right there, that one you see some slag in the sides. Make sure you get that all ground out and cleaned out. You don't want to leave slag in nothing. Yeah, so whoever was asking about outside corners, there's a good example of it. Dave, double bead cap done on positioner, right on. Sandblasted carbon. Wow. Well, that looks good for carbon, Dave. If you can make carbon look like stainless, you got her, dude. Nice. I like it. What you got? Y'all should weld a chair stand. That way you don't have to sit on wood. What? I'm in I don't know, it's a pretty comfy old chair, I guess, if that's what you're talking about. It's got a cushion on it. We should weld a custom stand, though, shouldn't we? We probably, maybe when we do that 200 wire TIG weld, we'll make something out of, I don't know, stainless for a chair. I don't know. So, do students get welding shirts like yours when they come to your school, or do they have to buy their own? Your welding, your clothes you have to buy your own. But we've been kicking around when you get student of the week, which are people who are really stand up, helping others, don't cause any trouble. They're there to work, hard workers, people who are just top of the line. Giving them a shirt, same color. Of course, you won't get the name tag because we won't be able to tell you apart. But so there's a way to get one if you get the student of the week that we're trying to implement. But otherwise, for the full course, you have to bring your own shirt. We can't provide all of that stuff. But you get a bucket of tools. Like, I don't know, you get hundreds of dollars in tools to do your job. Everything you get at the school in tools, you'll be able to take out on the job and use. Not some weird little chip and hammer or, a pair of needle nose pliers. It's going to be welder stuff. Grinders, grinding discs, files, your hood, your auto lens, all that good stuff that you're going to need to work. I got another. Michael Allen. Oh, since I'm tied, here's some sub-arc. Oh, Mr. Allen, I think, holy buckets, look at the seam on that one. How thick was that thing? I want to know, because that bevel on there looks like it was about 8 inches wide. Yeah, I think you got her covered there, Mr. Allen. That wire for that dual shield you put down around that corner and that stainless, you got her. I'd forgot about those two when I said you was tied. You got her in a bag, I think, bud. That's really nice. Let me know how thick that was. Goodness sakes, what is there? 5 bead cap on there or something? Ooh, some aluminum. Aluminium. Aluminium, as they say in the UK. I'm just a pretty face with a funny personality. I can't help it. I haven't done a whole lot of aluminum. I've just piddled around with it much, but old Danny Keiderling, that guy, he can pound out some aluminum. It looks okay. Looks like we're getting it figured out for sure. Like, I'm not sure I couldn't make it look any better, honestly, but looks like right there towards the end you got the dimes to start stacking in there really, really nice. Thing about aluminum, it's got to be clean. I don't know. I'm going to call it a 7 for effort on the aluminum. That's tough. Yeah, there again, yeah. Yeah, probably a 7 on your aluminum. Looks good. Could be better. Got some work, but there's always room for improvement. That's the politically correct way to say it. There's always room for improvement. Second and third time aluminum. Well, yeah, so if that's your second and third time, you're doing just fine. Yeah, that's not bad at all. Dakota Hood. Ooh. Man, that looks nice. It looks like maybe it's on if that ain't carbon, it's on a piece of chrome, but if it's carbon, it looks really good. That's a nice looking carbon. I wished it was filled all the way out. Like, I hardly ever rate a weld very good that isn't finished, because you can't give a score for an incomplete deal, but that looks really good. Man, that's a solid 8.5. If it were finished, that thing would probably be right up there in the high level 10. That's a good looking weld. 8.5 on a unfinished. Let me know if that's carbon. Let me know what material that is. DM us. So when you guys DM us these welds, let us know. Let us have some information, man. It just, you wouldn't believe how much it's interesting to know what your alloys you're working on. Send in some, Inconel or something really cool like that, or stainlesses. If you send in a stainless, is it duplex? Is it 316? Let us know. Let us know what that is. Oh yeah, right on. So Michael Allen sent in that sub arc, 8-inch wall, 8-inch thick wall, and he had to put with a sub arc 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bead cap on there. Jeez Louise, how big would that bevel be? I'd have to do some math on that thing. That's pretty impressive. I like that. That's awesome. I guess we got a question. Do y'all still have the hand program? Yes, we all do. And we're working on getting the drawing for the first round, I think for last year. It was a Miller Pipe Pro 350. And we still got it going. We still got the hand program going, and we're getting a list of them in. Since we implemented that, we've got some pretty good people trying for it. Of course, the criteria of that is, what is the criteria? I can see the poster. You gotta be a stand-up person. Like you gotta be a human being. You can't be a jerk. No busted weld tests, or very few busted weld tests. No disciplinary actions against you while you're at school. Your attendance has to be pretty good. Like, everything you got to do in real life, honestly, to keep a job, that's what makes a hand. As long as you're there working hard, not bothering anybody, doing your business, you're in. It's easy. Oh, this is like the Ford versus Chevy, Lincoln versus Miller. I'm a Lincoln hand. I've tried some Millers, and I almost went to the Miller side, but I just couldn't get there. Like I got to be careful. I do this because I've been in trouble for it before, but I prefer Lincolns over Millers. That's my personal opinion. Nothing affiliated with Western Welding Academy whatsoever. I ran a 300, a classic 300. It worked real good for me. Made me a ton of money. Never once failed. Changed brushes out once in a while, and it was good to go. I know Tyler, he's a Miller hand. Every time you mention Lincoln, he's like, "Oh no, Miller." He can't help it. He runs a business. How long have you worked for Western Welding Academy? I started October 26th of 2020, I think. So I'm pushing a year and a half, real close to, actually. Seen them. When I started, we had 15 students. Got clear down to 9 students, and now we're running 50. There's me and one other guy on the second shift, and then now it's me and 4 other great welders. My whole shift, my whole crew, second shift, I think they don't get any better than that. We got a lot of the older generation on that crew for instructors. I think we figured, 80 plus years of experience on second shift. But I've been there almost a year and a half, solid.
How many years have you been in the welding industry?
I've been welding since 1999. Would have been like my first legitimate welding paycheck. I started out welding structural, and then in 2000 I got my first pipe test passed, and in 2001 I was running my own welding truck, and then I did some mining stuff through 2005 to 2010 or 11 or something like that, 13. I'd have to look at my resume, honestly. So I got 20 plus years of welding, industry, construction, mining, a lot of knowledge. Seen some things, done some things that probably aren't good anymore, but I can tell you why and why not.
Out of all the careers you could choose, why did you choose welding?
Honestly, I had a really good friend in high school whose dad owned a welding company. He had went to work welding for him, and he was always messing around with a welding machine, welding rods, whatever. Anyways, just piqued my interest. Then I seen one of his first paychecks, and this was in 1995-ish. And it was, I don't remember then, it was like $1,500, $2,000. Anyways, it was the equivalent of about $4,000 a week now. And I was like, man, that is a pretty good wage. And I'm kind of a technical mind. Like, I like the way, you know, you make a liquid puddle and it fuses to another piece of metal. I like the science behind it. I just like everything about it, honestly. I like to travel. You know, I've got to travel from Gillette, Wyoming to Guantanamo Bay, Cuba, to northern Montana, to North Dakota, to Colorado, and I got paid to do it. So I don't know. That's why there's all these reasons why to weld.
We got Dakota sent us another picture of one of his welds.
Dakota. Oh yeah. See he's stepping up a little bit. Oof. Looks like a 2-inch carbon steel TIG weld, and that's a slick cap, dude. Dakota, that's a nice looking weld. Yeah, there is no undercut on that. Them edges are laser tight. Nice job. That's a 10 for sure, Dakota. That's a nice looking weld. I'd like to see some x-ray marks on there though. I wonder what it looks like inside. No stencil. How do I know that's yours, Dakota? Now I'm starting to get skeptical. There's no stencil on it, no ISO numbers, no x-ray marks. Interesting. Low pressure, water line. Come on, Dakota. Tips on setting up a welder. That's a pretty vague question, honestly. There's a million different ways to do that stuff. There's like three ways to actually get it done, but there's a million ways to get there. If you're talking about like an engine drive, make sure so whatever you're welding on, make sure your polarity is correct. If you're running stick, chances are it's electrode positive. If you're taking electrode negative, get your polarities right, and then you learn how to start the machine. You know, either you pull the choke, get her started. Lincolns have 2 adjustments, one coarse, one fine. If you're talking about a wall machine, there's arc force and your amperage control, and whether it's on remote and TIG switches. Realistically, all you got to do to start is make sure your polarity is good for the process you're on, and then start adjusting knobs until something goes right. That's kind of how I do it anyways. I've messed a lot of stuff up figuring it out. We got another question. How do I get my welds rated? DM us. You got to DM a picture or a video, and if possible, a description of your weld at Western Welding Academy on our DM, on our Instagram. DM us on Instagram at Western Welding Academy, please. Pictures, videos, tips on TIG. One of the bigger tips on TIG is your tungsten stick out. Carbon likes it a little bit shorter. In my experience, anyways, carbon likes it a little shorter. When I'm on stainless, I got that baby ran out there quite a ways. Carbon's a little colder. Stainless TIG's a little hotter. When you send these questions, give me a little information. There's a lot of tips I can give you. Heat, arc length. Even your lens shade could be wrong if you're struggling. You know, I don't know, but those are some of the common ones. Tungsten stick out, your grind. Make sure your grind on your tungsten's right. Do you have a foot pedal you're running with? What machine are you on?
Do you have a preferred method of sharpening your tungsten?
Yeah, I like to use a drill. So I'm accustomed to using a drill and my angle grinder. Of course, we have bench grinders at the school, but I always have it at a drill because I want that tungsten to spin, and you always run the grind marks lengthwise, parallel to the center line of that tungsten. You never want to go radially on it. It makes that arc jump around if you grind it in a circle. We got a weld?
Yes, we do.
We got a weld. Shut her down. We got a weld. John Anderson Jr. Ooh. I hope Senior was a better welder. I'm joking,
17.
John. Oh. Well, see. that's the information I know before I start spouting off. I don't want to hurt nobody's feelers. Not bad for 17. Looks like you're running a little cold, if I had to guess. Either cold or too fast, but honestly it looks a little cold. I'd say run them amps up about 10 amps and slow down a little bit. That's it looks like 70-18, and if you give that rod time, it'll spread out and do its job well. So turn that up a little bit. It looks cold to me. And then always take either a wire brush or a wire wheel and clean that off. I'm going to say that's probably a 6, but if you're 17, you are just figuring it out. And if you can lay one down like that without having a bunch of arc marks all over it, you're doing all right. You're doing okay. Austin Buckner.
Message not come through.
DM us again, Austin Buckner. We didn't get him. Pair of pilers. What are you doing? Yes, Mig uphill. Ooh, who's this? There's some stainless. Ken Bo 052. These names kill me. Let's see. I don't know what that is. That looks like stainless, but there's a lot of alloys out there that look like it, and a lot of them. Oh, it must be thin. That's why you're getting that discoloration. I can see the back side of that other weld where you're getting pretty hot on that, and them gray edges. If it's stainless, you're running either way too hot or not enough gas. I don't know. We'll call that one probably a 6-ish. This one, on the other hand, there we're looking good. I can see his root pass underneath that. That's looking pretty decent. If I had to guess, you freehanded that, which if you did, nice job. But them colors on there, you got the heat just right, and you got some gas coverage on there. Nice job. The edges could be a little bit cleaner. No undercut, I mean, from what I can see from right here. So, I don't know. That's an 8 anyways. Nice colors. Heat's right. Everything's going good.
Let's answer some questions.
Shall we? Let's. We shall. Where is the school located? Gillette, Wyoming. My hometown. I was born and raised here. It's a great place for it. There's industry here. This town is known for pipeline booms and busts. We've got facilities. We've got power plants. We've got mines. We got everything under the sun that suggests welding and industry here. Right in the middle of 2 mountain ranges, you got the Black Hills to the east, the Bighorns to the west. Of course, you know, we're, 5-6 hours from Alpine, Wyoming. I never want to mention Jackson, even though it's really nice. It's kind of not part of Wyoming. It's its own place. Go see the mountains, zip through Jackson, and go see Alpine or Yellowstone. We got mountains. We got high desert. There's all kinds of stuff to do here in Gillette, but Gillette's the place. Gillette's it. What are some things to do in Gillette? Oh man, this question kills me. We always get like some big city people here that, you know, go clubbing or whatever they do in big cities that I don't know about. There's like, well, there's nothing to do. But man, in the summertime, you got the mountains. You go hiking. You can hike for a weekend and never see a third. Oh, I got an easy one too. I live right next to it. Devil's Tower. We got the nation's first monument, right? Monument, right? Yeah. Devil's Tower. It's actually really cool. You can go hike around Devil's Tower. They got a couple of paths. I think one's a mile, one's a mile and a half. And then there's a long one. You can climb it. If you're into climbing, you can climb Devil's Tower. I do not know what that means, Quasi.
Let's rate it well.
Right, Weld. That one threw me off. Scuba diving? I don't know if there's a whole lot of scuba. I mean, we got keyhole, but I don't know. El Compa Angel 12. El Compa Angel 12.
First time on aluminum.
Man, not bad for a first time. That's actually decent. I can see a couple of them in there where you were getting her figured out. Must have been messing with your heat or something, trying to get her sewed up, but not bad. I'm going to call that a first time on aluminum. There's one there in the middle that's really nice. I don't know. I'll call that one in the middle that's got to be an 8 for your first time, dude. Nice job. Real good. Killing it.
And mine was Mount Rushmore.
Oh, yeah, the faces. I get it now. I get it. Yeah, we have So whoever was wanting to know what to do in Gillette, we have Mount Rushmore in South Dakota is only like 2 hours away. Denver's 5 hours away, so if Gillette's not big enough, you can go south to Denver for the weekend. Can I come to WWA if I've never welded before? Yeah, absolutely. That's what we're here for. And honestly, people who have never welded before tend to turn out pretty good. Like, they don't know how good they are until they've done it. And it's pretty easy for us because you don't have any bad habits we got to break. Like, when someone's got the wrong rod angle that has welded before, it's like pulling teeth to get them to stop doing that because that's what they know. So if you show up and never welded, it's all fresh, it's all clean. You bet. It's over here daydreaming. What are my hobbies? My hobbies are your hobbies. I don't know what your hobbies are, but my hobbies are, I go hunting in October. I like to go hiking. One of my goals this year actually is to hike to Solitude Lake in the Bighorns. My dad and I tried last year, but we didn't quite make it. The weather wasn't quite right. Travel, like, that's one thing I loved about welding. It would give me enough money in between jobs that we could travel to the Caribbean. That's one of my favorite places. That's probably my biggest hobby is travel. I'm an island junkie. Like, I want to go to the Caribbean and stick my toes in the sand on some island. I love it. That's my biggest hobby. Travel. Travel and vacation.
Some more rate my weld?
What you got, feller? Thomas Jones III. That sounds noble.
Says, please rate one of these.
Rate one.
Let's choose this one.
Okay, let's choose this one. Dual shield. There's a dual shield right there. Dual shield vertical on some pretty heavy duty looking plate, and it looks nice. I bet you the slag fell off and landed just like that too. Nice job, dude. That's a good looking dual shield. That's right up there with old Michael Allen. Of course, he had his wrapped around the corner, but his was flat. That vertical looks good for a dual shield. I'm going to call that gosh, if you would have cleaned that with a wire wheel, that would have been a 10. I got to give it a 9.5 because it's not done till it's clean. But from what I can see, nice job, dude. 9.5, good job. That guy's a welding fool, isn't he? He's got all kinds of them. We got some TIG in here. Looks like maybe some carbon steel TIG. Stacking dimes even. Looks good. Yeah, he's got a caption here. Got to have the skills to pay the bills. That's right. It'll do that too. Yeah. Yep, that dual shield looks good. Thomas Jones. Oh yeah, we just looked at his, didn't we? Man, he's got a whole bunch of them. He's a working man. That's what I like. If you'd had that cleaned off, man, you had her. It's got some TIGging going on, some dual shield. Yeah. What is that? A 2 to 3 reducer and a flange. Carbon steel. It's a good looking start to a root. Looks nice. Real nice. That'd be I guess for the sturdier root, maybe a 7 or 8, but it needs to be finished. God, I need a finished product. Brush, there's some more. That looks like some more dual shield, huh? There, that looks good. Man, he looks good. I wished he'd have wrapped that corner different though.
Well, we keep sending them.
All right, man. DM him. That's what we want. Slick him out. A lot of weld on that darn thing. Haha. Caught that. He tried to get me. He's taking it. Looks good. But he's not done yet. How come you're not done yet, dude? So you go to work and do like half of it at a time or what? There, Thomas. What you got going really good. Rob Stevens. Don't rob Stevens. Stevens didn't do nothing to you. Let's see. Grinnell. Oh, he's got his card in there advertising. That's good looking. That looks like a hard wire there. Yeah, nice job for a MIG weld. Not bad. I'd give that a 9 for a MIG weld. Looks good. Yeah, no undercut, but it's MIG. Anybody can MIG. My 13-year-old niece can MIG, and she's 13 in high school. Almost. 1 minute. Welding. So I gotta mention a weld competition. I'm about ready to wrap it up. 1 minute. Mention weld competition. So, I can't help it. I was born that way. Come on now. I got to mention the weld competition, right? It's May 7th in Gillette, right at the end of the airport runway. You can't miss us. Last year we had a crane with a big flag on it. I'm guessing we'll have that again. I guess I can't say I'm sure, but apply to weld.com. Go to events. Link in bio. I got that one. Click the link in the bio. I mentioned apply to weld.com. If you want to come to school with us, get your applications in as soon as possible. We've got a line of people. I don't remember how far out, but I know it's several years worth. So get in it. And we're always moving. So those that graduate early, we're moving people in to their spot when they're gone. So you get your application in. There's a chance you get there sooner than you anticipated. Otherwise, that's what I got. We'll see you guys on the next weld. Thanks for showing up to the live. I appreciate it. It's weird for me doing it, so I don't mind doing it for you.